Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Today we are going to be taking a look at the new driver update from NVIDIA, which is going to allow support for adaptive sync monitors, even if you're running an NVIDIA graphics card, which many people have, instantly we're saying NVIDIA now supports FreeSync. It's in fact not FreeSync technically. Technically, NVIDIA is supporting adaptive sync, which they will be very quick to correct you on, and technically, yes, FreeSync is adaptive sync, but adaptive sync is really the open source standard provided by VESA, while FreeSync is a trademark of AMD, so it's pretty much the same thing, and any FreeSync display that you own is an adaptive sync display, so in theory, this should work on FreeSync monitors, although there's a very rigorous validation process from NVIDIA. So out of 400 monitors that they tested so far, only 12 were actually approved. So I wanted to go ahead and try it on a non-validated monitor here in this video, as well as show you how you can enable it if you happen to be running a Pascal or Turing NVIDIA graphics card, as well as a FreeSync monitor, because it's not guaranteed to work. You could have issues like flickering. I've also heard of some issues with contrast and things like that. So, there should definitely be some issues you want to, be on the lookout for, but we're going to at least try it here on one non-validated monitor and see what the experience is like and explain to you what you need to do to get it up and running. Today's video is brought to you by LevelGo.com, where you could save money on games and software for your Windows 10 PC. And if you need a Windows 10 key, they've got you covered, where you can get a Windows 10 Pro key right now for just $15.75. Also, Microsoft Office 2016 for under $30, or 2019 Professional Plus for just under $60. And if you use my code JKL10 at checkout, you'll save 10% off your software purchase when you hit up LevelGo.com with the link down in the description below. Now, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you are on the latest driver, which is launching today, January 15th, 2019. The driver is 417.71. You can grab it on the NVIDIA website, you can grab it on GeForce.com, or you can grab it through the GeForce experience if you want to go ahead and do it that way. But this is the only way that you will be able to get this to work on a FreeSync or adaptive sync monitor with an NVIDIA graphics card. Is you have to be on the latest driver. So make sure you get 417.71, go ahead and update that, and then you should be good to go. Now, if you have never run a G-Sync monitor before, you may not have ever seen this option, but if we come to the NVIDIA control panel, which you can get to just by right-clicking on your desktop and clicking NVIDIA control panel, there is a tab in here now called Set Up G-Sync, which previously, if you weren't running one, this option wasn't even here, but it will be there now, and you just want to make sure that your boxes in here are checked and then it's activated. So by default, on the monitor that I'm using, which is the BenQ EW3270U, that's a 4K 60 Hz monitor. It has a FreeSync range of 40 to 60 Hz. It was not supported, and it says right here, selected display is not validated as G-Sync compatible, which means that NVIDIA either A, did test it and did not validate it, or they didn't test it at all, and we just don't know yet until more monitors have been tested by NVIDIA for validation. But I can obviously force this on. You can just go ahead and click it on, and then you hit apply, and then you're off to the races and running. So now that I've got FreeSync enabled, I also want to make sure that I am running VSync, because if VSync were turned off, then we would just be able to exceed the monitor's frame rate, and it wouldn't be a true variable refresh rate. So you could do that either through the game. You could put VSync on if you have it set to default in the driver. It'll just pick up the game settings, but I usually like to force it in the driver. Right now you can see it says use 3D application setting, but just to be sure, I'm going to go ahead and set VSync on so it's on no matter what, and the game will be locked to 60 Hz, and if it goes below that, then it should be a variable refresh rate, and the refresh rate of the monitor will keep up with that. So with VSync as well as G-Sync enabled, really the only thing left to do is, if everything is working right now and you're not getting any flickering screens or black screens or any issues like that, and everything seems fine on the desktop, is go ahead and fire up a game. I'm going to go ahead and try out Battlefield 5, because even on my 2080 Ti, this is at 4K, but playing that at Ultra with like DXR, turned up and all of that stuff, I would definitely see some frame rate drops down below 60 frames per second, depending on the map and the area of the game that I'm in when I'm using RTX. So we're going to go ahead and fire that up right now, and we'll see what the experience is like and see if it's, just like playing on a G-Sync monitor, which, by the way, I didn't say this at the start of the video, but I have been using G-Sync ever since it was available. Before they even sold monitors with G-Sync, I've been using G-Sync. So As far as just being able to tell with the eyes and the feeling of the game, I don't feel like there's many people out there that have much more experience besides people that work at NVIDIA, because I bought one of the first ever G-Sync modules and installed it into a monitor myself. So that's how long I've been using G-Sync. So if anyone can tell you whether or not this is working the same as G-Sync or not, then I think I might be that person. All right, so here we are now in the single player of Battlefield 5. This is the Tirailleur campaign. I think that's how you pronounce it, but I don't speak French, so I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. But yeah, this is DXR, obviously, turned on. I have it on high currently because Ultra, I was seeing some drops down into the 30s. And I don't know if I mentioned it already, but the FreeSync range on this monitor is 40 to 60 hertz. So anytime I would drop below 40, I would effectively come out of that adaptive sync range. Obviously, with a real G-Sync monitor, that would not be an issue, which is one of the advantages NVIDIA has traditionally had, because you know that it's going to work from 30 to 60 or 30 to 144 or 165, whatever it is. They work all the way from 30 and up. So that is one advantage G-Sync monitors have traditionally had, and they will continue to have until more adaptive sync monitors get better, and we can see 30 to 144 on more of them. There are some out there, but not really that many, honestly. So this is 40 to 60 hertz supported on this monitor. You can see right now I'm running at 4K, 60 hertz. I've got VSync on. It's in advanced. I've got DX12 enabled, DXR. HDR I've turned off for this because it doesn't really look that good when you record it. Frame limiter set to 60, VSync on, all that stuff. Everything else turned up to ultra, and DXR is at high. Now, so if we go into this here, you can see right now it's running about 45 FPS, and I've discovered in this area right here where I am is actually pretty good for this, because if I look up at the skybox, I'm basically getting a locked 60 frames per second. So if I move it around here, it's very smooth. There's no screen tearing whatsoever. It feels like a solid 60 frames per second. Now, if I bring it down to here, we drop down into the 45 to 50 FPS area. And if I pan around, I can definitely tell that the frame rate has come down, but it does not feel like VSync, like there is no G-Sync or adaptive sync technology at all. It definitely feels as though it's working. There's no screen tearing, there's no hitching or sudden slowdown in the frame rate. When I go between 60 and 45 FPS, looking up here and back to here, we know that I'm getting around 45 there and 60 up here, and I can't really tell a transitional difference whatsoever, which tells me that the adaptive sync technology is working fine. Now, if I look down at the floor, I instantly come down to like 30 frames per second, which is pretty damn bad. And now that I'm out of the adaptive sync range, and I'm pretty sure YouTube is not going to be able to display this correctly, but to me, I can instantly tell that we are now coming out of adaptive sync because it feels hitchy. I can see screen tearing on the monitor. It is just not an enjoyable experience at all. And I play games at 30 frames per second on console. I play Red Dead Redemption 2. I play games like that, Spider-Man on the PS4 Pro at 30 FPS. So I don't have a huge issue with gaming at 30 frames per second on certain types of games. Obviously, a first-person shooter would not be ideal. But yeah, this seeing it, jumping all around, even though we're getting up near 40 FPS, it feels extremely unplayable to me, and I would most certainly want to lower settings at this point, or get a proper adaptive sync monitor if it wasn't working properly. But as long as I'm staying within my FreeSync range or the adaptive sync range of 40 to 60 hertz, everything feels fine here, and I'm not seeing any issues with color banding, with the skies. Everything, just pretty much looks absolutely perfect. It looks exactly as I would expect it to look on a normal G-Sync monitor, and this is a non-validated panel by NVIDIA. It's not validated at all, but this feels absolutely fine to me. It's obviously down below 60 FPS where I would want it to be in a first-person shooter, but it's playable, and it's definitely better than not having adaptive sync support on the monitor at all. So this is, I feel, a pretty good move by NVIDIA, and seems to be working thus far. Hopefully, more monitors get supported over time, and I think this is a good thing. And if you are out there running an adaptive sync monitor and NVIDIA card, I think you owe it to yourself to at the very least try to use this, because it's just a driver update. If you're already running one, it doesn't cost you anything. And if anything, over time, I would say that this is going to broaden your options as far as what monitors you can pick up, because most G-Sync monitors have like a roughly $200, maybe even a $300 price premium on them for having G-Sync. And now with that going away, if you could find an adaptive sync monitor, which fits your needs as far as spec are concerned, and maybe is a little bit more affordable than an actual G-Sync monitor if you know it's going to work based on NVIDIA validating it or feedback in the forums and things like that, because I'm sure people are going to be reporting on this. You know, this monitor works, this monitor doesn't work. Obviously, if anything comes up in the future where I'm aware of a certain monitor is not working, I'll try to keep you guys up to date as best that I can. But for right now, this monitor seems working pretty well. Again, this is the BenQ EW3270U. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this first look at NVIDIA's support of adaptive sync monitors. If you enjoyed this one or learned something new, you know what to do. Leave a thumbs up and comment down below. If you have any questions about, you know, future things that we can test with this and things along those lines, then definitely let me know down in the comments below. If you have any questions for me about this, hopefully NVIDIA, you know, keeps us updated on the monitors that are supported on the GeForce forums or through the NVIDIA website or something. But right now they only have about 12 monitors that are supported. So, but this one, like I said, this seems to be working pretty well. There was one other BenQ monitor on the list, so that's what kind of had me hopeful that this monitor would work, and it does. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for another video. Sarah.